You've been using English every single day, but there's a big chance you're making one huge mistake right now. A mistake that instantly tells people you aren't a native speaker.
What if I told you that changing just one tiny letter or adding an S to the wrong word could completely change the meaning of your entire sentence? Seriously, 99% of English learners get this wrong. It's kind of one of the biggest traps in the whole language. But today, we're going to fix it once and for all.
Take the city and London, right? They both refer to a place. But knowing exactly which one to use is the absolute secret to sounding like a natural, fluent speaker. So let's turn this into a little game.
Level 1. The capitalization mistake.
All right, this is where we break down the difference between common nouns and proper nouns. Look, a common noun is just any general person, place, or thing. Any dog, any city, any girl. But a proper noun? That is a specific individual name. Think of Mr. Tony Stark instead of just man, or Pluto instead of just planet. And the really big secret here? Proper nouns always begin with a capital letter no matter where they are in the sentence.
So let's test you on this. We have two sentences here. I visited the city of New Orleans, or I visited the city of New Orleans. Pause the lesson and think for a second. Which one is completely correct? Did you spot the difference with those capital letters?
Well, if you guessed the second one, you absolutely nailed it. And here's why. New Orleans is a specific place, right? It's a proper noun, so it absolutely must be capitalized. But the word city, that's just a general, common noun, so it stays perfectly lowercase. Crazy how one little capital letter changes the whole thing, right?
Level 2. Things you cannot touch.
Okay, you survived the first challenge, but fair warning, this next level trips up almost every single beginner. So think about the world around you. You can hold a juicy apple. You can pet a fluffy dog. You can jump into cold water. Those are concrete things. But how do we categorize things that exist but have literally no physical form? Like, can you hold happiness in your hand? Can you touch brevity?
Enter the abstract noun. This is simply a naming word for an idea, an emotion, or a concept. The big rule to remember, you cannot see, touch, hear, smell, or taste them.
So concrete nouns are things like a tree, water, or a shiny coin. You can physically interact with all of them. But abstract nouns? Those are things like love, time, bravery, or justice. They are incredibly real. They practically run our lives, but you simply cannot touch them.
Time for another rapid-fire test. Let's look at the word honesty. Like in the famous saying, honesty is the best policy. Is honesty a concrete noun or an abstract noun? Pause and guess right now.
And the answer is abstract. You can't put honesty in a box, you can't weigh it on a scale, and you definitely can't pour it into a cup. It's a pure concept. If you got that right, wow, your English brain is leveling up super fast today.
Level 3. The counting trap.
Okay, this is where we fix a very embarrassing mistake that a lot of learners make, especially when traveling or asking for help. Have you ever caught yourself saying, I need 2 informations? Or maybe, I have too many homeworks to do? Well, if you have, you've walked right into a massive trap. Adding an S or a number to certain words is a major grammatical mistake. It turns out, this happens because of something called uncountable nouns. Basically, these are mass items that simply cannot be counted using numbers. Think of liquids like milk and water, gases like oxygen, or even abstract ideas like knowledge. You'd never say 1 air or 2 oxygen, right? Because of this, uncountable nouns never use numbers, and they don't have a plural form, no S at the end, ever.
Look, you can easily count cars and cups. 1, 2, 3. But you cannot say, I bought 3 furnitures. You have to say, I bought some furniture. Mastering this one single rule, it'll instantly elevate how natural your English sounds.
Level 4. Groups and collections.
We're nearing the end here. Now, how exactly do you talk about a giant group of things but refer to them as one single unit? Take a look at these everyday phrases. A crowd of fans, a flock of ducks, a batch of DVDs. Notice what's happening here. The first word in each phrase takes a whole bunch of individual things, like dozens of fans or a dozen ducks, and neatly bundles them all up into one single package.
These are called collective nouns. It's really just a single word that describes a whole collection or group of people, animals, or things. Words like team, jury, audience, and family, they basically take chaos and organize it into just one word.
But hey, here's a super surprising fact about collective nouns. Depending on where you are in the world, the grammar actually changes. In the US, people treat collective nouns as a single giant unit, so they use a singular verb. They'll say, the team was winning. But in the UK, they focus on the individual members inside the group, so they use a plural verb. The team were winning. The crazy thing is, both are completely correct. You just have to know your audience.
Level 5, the final boss quiz.
Okay, you've made it to the very end. Now let's see if you can prove you've retained what you learned today. Before our final test, take a quick look at this ultimate cheat sheet. It visually recaps everything we just explored. Common versus proper, countable versus uncountable, concrete versus abstract, and collective nouns. Got it locked in your memory? Let's go.
All right, here is your rapid-fire final boss test. Question number 1. Is the word furniture countable or uncountable? Question number 2. Is Jupiter a common noun or a proper noun? And question number 3. Is the word team a collective noun? Pause, think, and please don't cheat. I want you to drop your answers in the comments below right now. Let's see who actually paid the most attention and gets a perfect score.
You've completely leveled up your English today by mastering nouns. But what if I told you there's one tiny, magical word that connects all of these nouns together? A word that makes speaking English literally 10 times easier and smoother. Well, in our next lesson, you're going to discover exactly what that secret word is. You definitely won't want to miss it. Until then, keep practicing, keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.